Spawning in the bottom right hand corner from the infamous clan Cool6. Look at this handsome young fellow in this portrait. We've got the Terran player. It's CoolGiaco. I think this might be him. Would not surprise me. And then spawning in the top left hand corner, it's the Zerg player. It's Lev. What do these two players have in store for us in this match? Let's wait and find out. So far, Lev looking like a very standard opening, as well as CoolGiaco. Nothing, no proxies, nothing too fun. Start things off. The most fun thing so far is definitely this portrait. His nose is like flat in this picture. It's an optical illusion. Overlord's headed out into position. 17 hatch is going to be the choice. Not the biggest fan of 17 hatch myself. I like the 16 hatch, but I'm not sure it makes a huge difference. CoolGiaco is going to opt to close the door before starting. Spending these minerals here does have consequences. It's better than forgetting this depot, but it is going to delay. Like the Reaper starts up, it's going to delay. It looks like in this case, it's going to delay the orbital. Will the orbital be delayed? Are you going to remember an orbital for me, CoolGiaco? CoolGiaco is cranking out these SCVs. No orbital in the plan so far. Second gas firing up as well. Let's see if he plans on getting aggressive. Second CC firing up back on the other side of the map. Zerg player is sending some early Zerglings across the map. The early Zerglings are probably more to scout than anything else. Natural is a bit delayed. I think this was a 17 pool, 17 hatch. Here come these opening Zerglings, and while these Zerglings come in early from that 17 pool, they are going to have an opportunity to delay this natural. They're going to pick off an SCV for their troubles. The barracks is not producing a unit that can help deal with this. Barracks is currently adding on a reactor. Second SCV coming down, but if Lev moves back in here, Lev can see that the second SCV sees the same fate as the first SCV. Overlord, not going to see too much. Not yet anyway. Still doesn't know about the second gas. Second gas should result in some quicker tech units here. Tech lab starting up on the barracks with the starport coming up next to it. Hellions on the way as well. These two Zerglings continue to dance on their patrol. On the Zerg side of the map, he's at 33 out of 36. He fires up that Overlord. You want to start it at 30 or 31, but starting at 33 is much better than starting at 36. So nice, nice. Good stuff. Stim pack on the way for our Terran player. These Zerglings did come back in to take a look around, but this time they ran into the fire of these Hellions. 2 Hellions here, 2 more on the way. With Stim pack on the way as well. I was curious if this tech lab was intended for the barracks. It will. The answer is yes. Second barracks coming as well. Viking on the way to chase off some Overlords. One Overlord down here. Maybe a Nidus plan for later. We'll see. A few more Zerglings arrive on the scene. They are 8 in total. Queen count is low. Only 2 queens with nothing producing out of the nat. You probably want to be getting more queens out. Squeezing those queens out right now. Lev floating a little money that could be spent on these queens. Let's see what these 4 Hellions get done. 4 Hellions are going to run right into the 2 queens and the Zerglings. While not numerous, they are going to do the job if you go straight into them. These Zerglings maybe getting a little greedy, trying to bite off a little more than they can chew, but not taking too many casualties. I'd say worth to make sure you got that Hellion. Worth it. 1 Marine out on the field. He was sent hunting Overlords, and now out of the view of his boss, he is going to take a breather. Confirming the third. Confirming not that many drones at the third. Gonna poke away at some of the drones that are here. CoolGiaco will get some nice harassment there. Layer on the way for the Zerg. Overlord evicted. 2 medevacs at a time on the way, which is interesting because there's just not a lot of army supply here for them to heal. It's only 7 Marines, only 4 Widow Mines. Widow Mine Marine. Combat shields on the way. Some Zerglings near what will maybe be the 3rd base location for the Terran. Not going to see a 3rd base there yet, though. No engineering. Oh, there are 2 engineering bays in the wall, so would like to see CoolGiaco get into some upgrades soon. No upgrades just yet other than Stim. Drop headed to the north side. Let's see if it's able to get any damage done. Boosting on in. One queen will start to poke, but downfall the Marines from the safety of their dropship. They will begin to battle with the queen. The queen not being properly told to stay on the medevac, so the medevac is going to escape with its life. But 2 drones there, not bad. 2 drones and a little bit of attention. Not a total waste of time. Sitting on 3 bases right now. Oversaturated on the Nat. Could see some of that down to the 3rd. Not the end of the world, but it's the little mistakes that add up. Three roaches and a bunch of Zerglings are going to be the army right now. 4th roach in there as well. A couple more roaches on the production tab. Spire on the way, halfway done. +1/+1 on the way for the Terran. He is moving out on the map. Looking like he's thinking about getting a little bit aggressive. Couple Widow Mines as well. Well, he's bringing the boys. This is it. This is all in. I zoned out for like half a second, and while I zoned out, CoolGiaco has pulled the boys. CoolGiaco is looking to win the game and looking to win the game now. Will these Widow Mines get some miracle hits? This is actually pretty scary from the Terran, I think. If these workers can, if they can tank for the bio. Oh, but no, there's going to be so much friendly fire on these Widow Mine shots. Picks everything up. The micro to scoop everything up and avoid the Widow Mine shots is fantastic. Now everything left on the ground. This game needs to be won here. There is no follow-up plan to this, but the entire Zerg army has been annihilated. Mutas are arriving on scene, but they are too few in number to deal with the Marines on the ground. All of the queens have fallen. The SCVs are fighting gallantly. Now drones have been pulled to join in the fray. Here we go, kiting backwards, recognizing that things are looking bad. Outnumbered in his struggles. 1 medevac falls to the queens. This fight did not get the damage that it needed, but it was so exciting to watch. A few left behind SCVs will be sacrificed to the swarm. 12 SCVs in total fall in that fight. Was already behind economically, sitting on 2 bases. Nothing mining here at the Nat. A 3rd CC has been finished, so probably not going to tap out just yet, but that is a very big gamble that yielded very little. Adding some Banelings onto the army. No Baneling speed. I would like to see Baneling speed added on. Some little economy housekeeping here. Stuff is not 100% evenly saturated, but all in all, Zerg's done a fantastic job getting a very good lead in this game. A little hit squad of Zerglings here poking forward, looking for a 3rd. Not going to find a 3rd yet because the 3rd has not been floated out to location. Is going to get those Zerglings spotted by a scam, but the Zerglings are so little of the army. We've got some Mutas, we've got some Zerglings, we've got some Banelings. I think the one noteworthy point here, The one very noteworthy point is that it's a very fragile Zerg army. And are Widow Mines still the option? No. Widow Mines have been moved out of. Tanks are going to be the choice. Well, all right, we got double Widow Mines too. Widow Mines are the only path back for the Terran right now. I think at half the supply, Widow Mines could clear out this very fragile Zerg army. But man, that would be a miracle. Ranged +1 is going to finish. Melee +1 is starting. With this army, there's nothing ranged to use the range +1. So it was either a mistake, it was either a misclick or a poor decision. Zerglings out on the map, still trying to stay active, still trying to track what is going on. On the other side, they are going to sprint past these Marines and stop and say, "We are the survivors. We laugh upon you this day. You slayed our brothers, but we continue to live." One Zergling moving forward is going to spot a couple Widow Mines and is going to spot no third base on location. Third base has been completed and sitting here for quite a while. It is now finally floating out on location. Flying out with a drop. The drop is probably hoping it can distract the Zerg enough while things get established here at this third base. Big Zerg army out here, a big mobile Zerg army. They are mobile, but they are fragile. They outnumber their opponent more than 2-1, but will they go into the Widow Mines and all die in a blazing fire? That's the question we're, as the viewers, we are waiting to find out. Adding on upgrades onto these Mutalisks is nice. A drop on the south side of the map is going to be obnoxious, to say the least. Definitely obnoxious. Scanning and moving forward, looking to clear out creep, looking to buy time, and so far it's working. An army is being F2'd around to deal with this, but this is what the Mutas are for. Yeah, here we go. Mutas are going to arrive, and the Mutas are going to have what it takes to chase this medevac off. Now that the medevac recognizes Mutas are a threat, will be probably a little nervous to come back in for more drop action. Everything looking injected for the Zerg. Everything, oh, we could inject here, but not bad. Could probably secure this base. Back on the side of the Terran, the worker count is still not looking great, but you're in a much better position here. 44 workers to 74 is not an unplayable position if you can somehow deal with this army that is out here in a very efficient manner. As we watch the mini-map, these armies are about to bump into each other out in the open. They will bump into some Zerglings. He says to himself, that can't be your entire army, and it is not. Here comes the rest. Here come the Widow Mine shots. Will they be enough? Widow Mines fire. The Widow Mines get damaged. Some of it friendly fire, but there is just too much Zerg here. Zerg is going to clear out the tanks. Desperately kiting backward is the bio. And actually, it was not just too much Zerg. Bio, with the impressive kiting, is able to survive the second round of Widow Mine shots, able to get enough damage as well as some forces not fighting that maybe should have been. Rebuilding back at home, we take a look at that production tab. It's still only Zerglings. It's going to be another round of Ling Bane. Economically so far ahead, Lev can afford to trade out inefficiently, but how long can this continue before he will allow a path back into the game for his Terran opponent? Terran inching forward, keeping this creep under control, using those scans. Gonna see, here comes the Ling Bane. This is not enough bio to deal with it. These Widow Mines are in a good spot, but they're not buried. There was a great opportunity there for the Zerg to jump on top of these Widow Mines. He will miss it, and that's the game. The Widow Mines are the game. We take a look at the units tab here. 3 Widow Mines are the only thing left. 4 Ultras are in production. I don't think Widow Mines are going to deal well with the Ultras. This is a very nice macro game here out of Lev. He is in a very dominating position, way ahead on Army. His upgrades are the only thing he's not doing great on. Everything else is looking fantastic from this player. 14 minutes, almost 15 minutes into this game. Zerglings being a little bit annoying, but recognizing they cannot overstay their welcome. Meanwhile, on the north side of the map, a drop is headed into the base, the main base of the Zerg, and here we go. He's going to go ahead and target down the Ultra Den. He does not want to be dealing with Ultras, but here we go. Ultras are already here. Ultras will already have to be dealt with. 5 on the map. It is nice to pick that Ultra Den. There won't be more Ultras for quite a while, but these 5 are going to be a lot to deal with on their own. Hive is done. Adrenal Glands finishing up. Once again, +2/+2 finishing up. Getting out on the map with this huge army. I'm sitting on about double the army supply of his opponent. Lev is looking to take that 1-0 lead in the game, in the series. Widow Mines can have miracle shots, but this is a lot of Zerg, man. First Widow Mine fires and gets fantastic damage, but there go all the workers here at the third base. Zoning out the rest of the army are these Ultras. And while these will get kite back, they will get dealt with. They're going to clear up all the Terran in the process as more Ultras arrive in reinforcement. The third base is down. No GG. Going to tap out of this game. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, looking to even up the series and force a map 3 from Cool6. It's CoolGiaco. And in the bottom right-hand corner of this shenanigan of a map, looking to close out the series 2-0, it's the Macro Zerg. It's Lev. What will plan be for map 2 from these players? Do they have some Golden Wall specific fun planned for us, or is it just going to be business as usual? So far, all signs point towards the latter as business as usual begins to unfold. A barracks is started. A gas is started immediately after. Back on the other side of the map. Oh, here we go. Lev, this is what I missed last time around. Lev does go with a 17 pool and then a 17 hatch. So with that earlier pool, it does give Lev a nice opportunity to get across the map with some early Zerglings, delay the third of his opponent. He even drone scouts. Very interesting. Drone scouts takes a look around, makes sure there is no proxy, but there is no proxy to be scouted in this particular game, but we have the benefit of God mode to know that for sure. Second gas firing up from CoolGiaco. Waiting to see that third base from Lev. The third base was late last game. I expect to see a bit late again, because why make any changes when you are up 1-0 in the series? Everything went well in game number 1. Here comes the Reaper headed across the map to take a look. The Reaper is going to miss these Zerglings. Zerglings opting to take the scenic route on their way to harass. 2 Zerglings remain at home for Lev to help deal with the Reaper. 4 Zerglings is better, but 2 will get the job done. The 2 Zerglings that are in the aggressive position. Jumping on top of this SCV. Oh, need to be retargeted here. Getting a little distracted, fighting the wrong thing. Reaper almost losing its life. Turns around, slays the Zergling that dared oppose it, but the Queen arrives. After slaying a Zergling and slaying a drone, the Queen will arrive. Stop the party. Zergling's getting some nice damage done here. Taking down 2 SCVs already, a third in their sights, continuing to delay this opening expansion out of CoolGiaco. Very frustrating to deal with. When the Hellions pop, the Hellions will finally be able to chase it away, but at what cost? Second factory being fired up on top of the already built tech lab. Couple Hellions arrive, say, where are those stinking Zerglings? But those stinking Zerglings have already moved on. They are headed towards here. Probably will come back in later to take a look before getting barbecued. Third base halfway done back at home for Lev. Production tab, throwing more Zerglings into the mix, looking to beef up the forces. Even the scouting forces are coming home to join the main army. Getting ready for the Hellions that he expects are coming. Second factory finishes up. Starport is on the way. Nothing producing out of the Tech Lab factory just yet. Is he going to add on Cyclones? Is it going to be Cyclones or Thors? Tanks. Tanks are going to be the play. So tanks to shore up the home front. Hellions to harass aggressively. All of the mech tools being utilized here. Checking out the third, picking off a creep tumor. Moves in forward, barbecues some drones. Very, very nice trade so far. Two queens can deal with Hellions, but they're going to deal with them so slowly. More Zerglings are on the way, morphing to Hellbats. The Terran player looks like he wants to take out this third base of his opponent. These Hellbats jumping on top of this queen. And yeah, these Hellbats are doing great work so far, barbecuing some Zerglings right as they are born. Here are the forces that will have to challenge the Hellbats. Will they challenge before the third base falls? Looks like the answer is no. Third base is being given up at this time. And there we go. They'll pick off the third base. They will morph into race cars, and they will race car their little hearts right on out. Back on the other side of the map, tanks are being cranked out as well as other Hellions, adding Liberators as well. Mech is going to be the play today. I like that skin. Is it a skin? I can't tell. I like it. The tank looks sweet. To the skin or the color. Nidus starting up at the south side here of CoolGiaco's base. Does he have anything in position to deal with this Nidus? I don't think he does. Oh, here we go. He is going to see the Nidus as he goes to fire up these supply depots. And here we go. Roaches, Lings, Queens, everything in the base. Nothing here to deal with it. Those tanks are not going to be able to help. Way there at the front side of the base, morphing into Hellbats, but there are Roaches here that are going to deal pretty well with the Hellbats. Tanks moving in, looking to get sieged up, and they will have an opportunity to get sieged. What kind of shots will they get before they die? A few Lings bonsaiing past the Hellbats, looking to get on top of the tanks. Right-clicking on these tanks, sacrificing a lot of units in the process, but able to clear out most of the Terran. One queen remains, and this queen is the last hope to deal with the Liberator. Recognizing this queen as the problem, one Hellbat dances back and forth between ranged units that are hanging out just outside of the Freedom Zone. Down falls the Liberator, but a Cyclone will arrive to clean up the remaining forces. More Zerg coming through this Nidus. This Nidus needs to be kicked out. This one queen here to deal with. GG's called. Let's take the series 2-0.